Ah, I'm out of breath. I just got done getting the pump. How do you guys like our newly rearranged set that we got here? Let me take my Earth-Fed Muscle Elixir. How's everybody doing? So this is the first time we're doing a 1 p.m. Eastern live chat. I hope people show up. Basically, I think this is the last free live. We're going to be trying to push everybody to do the live membership. If you're on, what's up, Brian? If you're on the YouTube channel, you can join with the membership button. Go to the membership page or go to the YouTube channel, Garage Strength. You can join that. Trying to get a little bit recovery. I just did 30 minutes. I wanted to share a nice story here. I was a little rushed. I didn't have a lot of time to train because we're going to do this from 1 o'clock till about 1:50. And then I have to coach at 2 o'clock. And so I was starting to cry and make as many excuses as I wanted to make. And I said, you know what? Do I want to be a champion? If I want to be a champion, I've got to be consistent and I've got to embrace that discomfort, which means I've got to execute today. So I got about 15, 20 minutes of a workout in. I feel so much better now. Got a little bit of a pump going. And now I'm spending the afternoon, early afternoon in Pennsylvania, Eastern time with you guys. So can you do a football player workout and nutrition videos? The beautiful game dits. So we have a lot of football player workouts. Actually, we got entire workouts with Nick Singleton, who last week against Ohio, starting for Penn State, had 179 yards, was the fastest football player clocked on the field since 2020 with Tyreek Hill. So there is workouts with Nicholas, and we got some good nutrition videos, but we can also do some more in the future. Brendan asking me, what are my strength goals now that I'm retired from shot put? I think some of my strength stuff that I've been thinking about is, one, health, right? Just my overall health. I struggled with Lyme disease for like 4 or 5 years, and that ruined me from like 2014 to 2018 pretty much. Frank Zane, this is not the last stream. It's just the last stream for free. You guys can join at the bottom there. So right now, I'm trying to figure out those goals, and I like making videos like I don't know if you remember the deadlift video from last year where I deadlifted for 24 straight hours. I like doing stuff like that. So any of those challenge videos we're thinking about making a comeback with, and for me, I'm even thinking about training like a bodybuilder for 60 days or training like a sprinter for 30 days or even down to, I woke up at 5 a.m. every day for a month. So those type of challenge videos is where we're thinking about going with some of my goals because it does make it easier than for me. Don't forget that Dane also is heavily driven by outperforming his athletes in various things as well. Tyler, that's 100% fact. I love trying to outperform my athletes and then talk trash on them. So I think a lot of it just comes back to, for me, it's like, I think a lot of my fitness goals need to be around the channel and around helping you guys. And I think that if you guys have questions or comments that we can improve upon or that we can do and demonstrate with, then we're gonna, that's where a lot of my goals are gonna be. Jason, is the live stream still going? Because it's paused on my computer. Brendan, training like a gymnast for a month. That's a great one because we were even talking about how to get bigger arms, like training arms every day for a month, like 30 straight days of arm-based training. And one of our thoughts was, gymnasts have huge arms. Maybe we should be training like a gymnast. Maybe we should get pumped like gymnasts. How do your rep ranges progress throughout a mesocycle towards a peak? So, weight gain with only veggies. Specific 10 end workouts, we've got a whole bunch. So some of the stuff as far as how we work through, as how we would work through the full program, right? So if we can lay out in our minds, let's just pretend you got 5 blocks. Okay, so you have 5 blocks. You're gonna start block 1 is called the exposure phase. Okay, so this is when we're gonna be doing sets of 7, 9, 12s. Okay, technical coordination movements, we might be doing triples to fives. Then after we go from that exposure phase, we go to comprehension phase. So a comprehension phase, now we're still doing, you know, maybe we're doing 6 sets of 6, or we're doing 6 sets of 4 on the weightlifting variation, 7 triples, stuff like that. Then we get into ascension phase. So now we're in the ascension phase, the third phase. Now we're going to start getting into like 7 doubles, all at the same weight. Okay, now we might do 8 doubles or 3 triples, 4 doubles, stuff like that. And in our back squat stuff, we might say for absolute strength, we might be like, let's do 4 triples, 2 sets of 9. Then we get into the summit phase. Summit phase is when we're going to try and start to really lead into that peak. So now we might be doing 6 singles. We might do 5 doubles in a set of 5. And our accessories might only be 2 or 3 sets instead of 4 sets or 5 sets. And then we get into the realization phase where everything's cut down to basically 2 sets and you're really, really ready to peak. So that's sort of how we set everything up as far as that's going to be concerned. Brendan Wilson, yes, we need to know how to gain weight as a vegan. Brendan, I don't know if you know, but I did a vegan video. I went vegan for, I think it was 45 days I went vegan. And I actually did my blood work. This was like almost a year and a half, 2 years ago. So you should check out that video. And I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed doing it, and I had to get creative and really focus on how I would recover and stuff like that. My blood work came back pretty well, so I did like that. Man, I'm a college wrestler and 20 years old. Wrestling, BJJ, grappling, strengthening exercise, please upload to YouTube. We have a lot of wrestling, a lot of BJJ stuff. We can do more of that. We work with a lot of wrestlers. I work with a D1 wrestling program. A Power 5 program actually that I write all their strength training for, and so we could definitely get into going over more of that stuff, and that's where like our other channel, Peak Strength, we're going into real nitty gritty stuff with that as well. So please answer this: how to start training after ACL injury. So that's for Garish. What I would do with an ACL injury is come back. First of all, come back slowly. Second of all, make sure that you're focusing on like range of motion strengthening. So start with that shorter range of motion strength work. You can do some stuff like sled push, sled pull, like easy leg press, super light, or easy leg extensions. And then goblet squats to a box, and then go into like real easy split squats where you're doing assisted split squats, and you just slowly build back into it. You know, even side band walks, stuff like that, until you get more comfortable with a deeper range of motion. How should I train if I don't care for the looks and just want to be stupid powerful? So thank you from the belly over toes guy. When all you want to do is get as beefy as possible, I would train, I would even pick up, like for us, our deadlift program, I think is probably the best. And if you're eating like 4,000 to 5,000 calories and you're on the 12-week deadlift program, that's where you're going to get absolutely insane gains. Like you're just going to get super big, super thick, extremely strong, very, very powerful. And you're just going to look huge. You know, you won't have a neck. You'll have this huge puffy chest, big, huge back, big, huge traps. So that deadlift program's phenomenal if you're trying to just get as big as you possibly can. I've been training to walk on a D1 college team. I've been able to drop my 40 down to 5, or from 5'8" to 5'2". Do you have any other speed workouts to help with? So that's for Point Blank 0303. Point Blank, pick up our How to Get Faster speed training program, or if you're a lineman, which it seems that you likely are, pick up one of our lineman programs, because that's where you're going to get a lot more speed gains, a lot more power off the line. That first step's going to be key. Mind of Thomas. So the app right now is basically, so it's in beta and there's people testing it. There's people that are on our email list that are getting this, that are already in it. I think we've got like 60 people in the app right now. Okay. So it's actually being tested currently. And I believe in the next 2 weeks, it's going to be fully live in Android and in the Google Store and in the Apple Store. So it's going to be the next week or two that is entirely live. So right now it is actually live, and we are working with it. We have done videos with it. We have people inside of it giving us, finding some errors here and there, and then we're able to fix that stuff up while it's being fixed, while it's being approved by the Apple Store. For Ken, how many Second, should we hold isometric exercises for power wrestlers and grapplers? Anywhere from 5 to 7 seconds all the way up to 90 to 2 minutes. Okay, 90 seconds to 2 minutes, 120 seconds. I think, what a Garage Strength fan, what is the best 5 bodyweight exercises? I think even doing like a hanging leg raise. So if you're hanging and you're doing a leg raise for like a minute and a half, that's going to help your grip and your abs as well. 5 best bodyweight exercises. Maybe, should we make a video off of this? Maybe we should make a video. So Jason maybe should be writing these down. 5 best bodyweight exercises: pull-ups, rope climb, pistol squats, jump lunges, explosive push-ups to boxes. Those are going to be my favorite. For Kansas, squat, hip thrust, push-up, glute bridge, and plank, man. I don't know. Well, greetings from Argentina. Boom, Argentina. I'm trying to learn Spanish, guys. Did you know this? I've been deep into my Spanish. I've got a Spanish-speaking discus thrower who's moved here, so we're working on my Spanish and how I say things, how I enunciate. And I think I'm on day 51 for Duolingo. This is a good question. Best way to improve body composition for a female high school basketball player. I believe basketball over baseball for sure, right? So this is J-Hop. So, 1, gain that lean muscle mass. So we've got to make sure that we're doing strength-based training, resistance-based training. I'd say at least 3 days a week, do resistance-based training. 2, improve your diet, okay? So if you're going to improve your diet, make sure, J-Hop, that you are eating, as many grams of protein per pound of body weight. Let's say you weigh 150, make sure you're eating 150 grams of protein, and then the carbs come in next, and then the fats. 3, make sure you're getting enough sleep. Okay, I would make sure you're getting plenty of sleep. And then 4, if you're really concerned about your body composition, pick 2 days a week where you get on the assault bike for 30 minutes. Try and hold 55 RPMs, 60 RPMs for 30 straight minutes. And at the same time, you're doing that other work. I even recommend with basketball players, do hill sprints, do side hill sprints, stuff like that. That's going to help as well. Bodybuilding exercises with dumbbells. The best dumbbell bodybuilding exercises. Best dumbbell bodybuilding exercises. I like that video. Maybe we should roll with that. Dominic, pistol squats are top 5 for sure. Dominic, you and I were DMing this morning. I remember. How to build massive mass as a tall guy. I'm skinny. From Nude. Big thing, tall guys. You got to deadlift, or you got to do clean pulls or snatch high pulls. I would do back squats and front squats to a box, lots of sled work, and a lot of upper body stuff. So tall guys don't like to bench. They don't like to do pull-ups. They cry about it because their ego gets hurt when they go into a commercial gym and people see that they're only benching 185 pounds. Okay? You got to train your upper body twice a week if you're a tall guy, probably 3 days a week. Belly over toes guy was just in Zurich last week. Loved it. One of the most beautiful countries in the entire world. I've been using your free template for 2 months now. And I can see big results. Thanks a lot for that. Definitely going to check out the deadlift program. So we do have a free training template. It's basically a week that can help you guys set that up for where you have a full week on how we have that training split. So we do have that available for free. Tyler Williams, huge throw from Tyler Williams this past week. I believe he had 3 PRs or something absurd like that and 4 throws over his PB wearing the Garage Strength jersey. Boom! Shout out to Tyler Williams. Throw a lot more than you think. You should try, to improve technique 100%. Deet Hunter. Best tips to rebuilding muscle mass and strength after a long time being sick. Lost over 40 pounds, and he's out for the football season. Start easy. Start slow. Come back, spend 3 to 4 weeks just getting back into shape. You're going to feel sluggish and fatigued. And I would even go in the sauna and do endurance work. Just get on the bike and ride the bike for 20 to 25 minutes each day, and that's going to expedite that GPP process. But get in the weight room, do 5 sets of 12, 5 sets of 15 at low weights. Don't fail for 2 to 3 weeks. Just trying to get things moving until you get that big spark. And then once your body sort of gets stimulated and it starts to recover from the illness and from your overall, you'll start to notice your overall energy is going to skyrocket. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. And I would even say liposomal vitamin C with glutathione. Garage Strength fan. I'm a 15-year-old soccer player. I'm looking to get shredded and muscular. How do I do that? How to get faster program. If you're a soccer player, come on, that's a perfect program. And I would just get on the app. What kind of moves, but also make sure that you're eating as well as you possibly can. What kind of moves and motivation for small kids, home workouts, if you just want to get them bang for the buck. Okay, double leg bounce, push-ups, pull-ups, walking lunges, hill sprints. Coach, I didn't hear it in that second part of the video. The sound is going. Can you write how long I need to hold the isometrics? This is from Furkan. Furkan, what I would do with isometric-based training is that the longer duration is going to be great for later in the match. Okay, so with grappling, 90 seconds, 120 seconds. That's going to be great for just, being able to hold positions, in minute 5, minute 6. But then I would say doing, explosive plate flips and holding for 7 to 10 seconds. Now you can do things like plate flips. You can do heavy hammer curls with a squeeze in different positions. And then that also is going to help improve that isometric power output. And that's going to help when you get into clinch with somebody. Why do you think Florida has so many good weightlifters? Well, 1, Florida has weightlifting in school. 2, they have a lot of great coaches. Brian Seacrest. So Ben, you've got it in high school, and that's where everybody's got that leg up in Florida. But also, your high schools are doing it. Everybody's doing it. Everybody's sort of out there grinding and getting that work done. So I think that's the big factor there. Cody's asking, if you have 10 to 15 student athletes never performed any weight training before, how long would your prep program run? He's currently running 4 weeks. So when we have 10 people come in that have never lifted, we start lifting them the first day. They start squatting, they start cleaning, they start snatching, but it's all about progression. It's all about starting them where they're at. It's not like, hey, we got to get them to clean 160 kilos today. It's, hey, we got to get them to clean the 20K bar consistently. And so I think that's the most important thing, is just keep that in the back of your mind, is like, let the progression take care of itself. And some people will learn very rapidly. Some people will learn a little bit slower. Any throwing or training insights that you've picked up from your new Spanish-speaking thrower in her South of Florida training system? Mainly just for her, a lot of the training has not progressed since the Soviet Union. There's a language barrier that's got that country closed off from most of the world, Europe, the U.S., even to a point, Asia, and so a lot of the stuff's like super old school Soviet style training. Some of the interesting cues, they would say pega izquierda la pia, pega izquierda la pia a la derecho. So it's like pace the left to the right, which to me seems a little weird, and I think that almost might be why Jaime has like a left foot that sort of blocks her off. And so now it's like finding the words to get that left leg a little bit deeper. My man, J-Hop, I see that PA on the map on the wall. Yep, greetings from Western PA. Boom, heck yeah. Coach, how does a newcomer get into competing in Olympic weightlifting besides joining USA Weightlifting and attending their cert courses? So you don't have to attend their cert course to go compete. But the big thing is finding a coach who cares, finding a coach who's good at developing you and who wants to develop people. And once you're with bench, clean, and jerk is a high school sport in Florida, yes, and they just added the snatch, so it's going to get better. But yeah, as far as Dominic is concerned, once you find somebody who wants to help you develop as an athlete, then you're going to start to have that itch. And then once you get into a comp and you have fun, it's over. You're done. You're just going to want to keep going. How do you keep your back straight when squatting? Big thing, I think, is focus on blowing your trunk forward, squeezing the hips through with the chest up. Hips through, chest up, hips through, chest up. Is it true that the Rice protocol is useless for ankle and knee injuries? I've actually always thought that the Rice protocol is only really good for ankle because it's the blood flow issue down to the ankle. So maybe I'm wrong. I think though it always comes back to making sure that you have good ankle mobility, and that's going to help with that knee and ankle issues. Hey MF, tell me, is push-pull leg split good for building mass? Sure, absolutely. Man, Malik, you're getting mad at me asking for the 8th time. Your explanation is awesome. Dylan Montgomery, how can I get strong with only pull-up bars? If I only had pull-up bars, chin-ups, pull-ups, neutral grip like this way, I do one arm hangs, I do close grip this way, I do a lot of leg raises, I would do muscle ups, I would do dips on top of it, I don't need to do pull-ups for clap push-ups, handstand push-ups, explosive jumps, bounds, jump lunges, jump step-ups, pistol Cossacks, calf raises. You don't need the pull-up bar, so I just gave you like 10 there. That'd be my key. Yo, chill, Malik. Damn, bro. Why is this your last live stream? So today is not truly the last live stream. What we're gonna do is that starting next week, you have to be a YouTube member, so it'll be $10 for the month, and you get 4 YouTube lives for $10. So if you pay the $10 to the membership fee there, you can click on that link on desktop. If you're on your cell phone, I think you have to go to our YouTube channel, and then you just put in the $10, and then there's probably gonna be less people in it, so we'll be getting spammed a little bit less from Malik, and then we'll be able to answer all of your questions directly. So just, $10 in there, it shouldn't be too bad, and we're gonna try and develop that. And if we get a good following in there, I'll probably do them longer than an hour if we're getting a lot of people in there. Big Money Miller in the house from Barry McCockiner. That's gotta be Gary McCallicker. That's gotta be Gary. Is this one recorded? They will be recorded in the future. How China is so much active in winning so much of gold medals, like what different do they do? I think they've got a good selection with their my blocks usually will last about 4 weeks. I think they've got good selection of their sports, so like athletes into specific areas. They have a very large population, and they sort of force people into certain sports even if they don't want to. So that's, I think, beneficial for performance in the sport, maybe not for the health of the individual. Okay, golfer's elbow. I would do a lot of rotational work very, very, very slowly. Big bong baz, actually. And a lot of slow eccentric here, and then even slow eccentric with a Powerlastic band through those different positions, and that should help. Can you recommend a good full body mobility routine for guys? We have a mobility program for $20. It's absolutely phenomenal. 4 to 5 exercises every single day. Do it every day, and I think you'll see that it's very worthwhile. Top 3 weightlifting teams in the U.S. Ben, Win. My question, I would ask you, Ben, how do you define top 3 weightlifting teams? Do you want like development? Do you want like just people who are on the team? Also, we have 2 people on the world team. You could also look at like, all right, who has the most people on world teams? So yeah, Tyler Williams, yeah, no cap. That's fair and smart for GS to do with a $10 sub to minimize spam. Also, if people keep up with these lives, they already got info that most would pay thousands for over time. 100%. Thank you, Tyler, for the support. Love it. Joseph Gutierrez, what do your speed and dynamic days look like? So we actually refer to them. How to donate from Barry. You can click the money symbol down below there. Joseph, or up top as well. Joseph, we call them impulse days, and we have athlete day as well. So impulse day is going to look like, let's say like a power snatch or a power clean or a hang power clean or a 2-box clean, anything like that. Okay, so we're going to do the 2-box work. Then we're going to do like a unbroken back squat at like 60% body weight. Boom, boom, or 60% intensity. Boom, 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 super quick. Then we might do that with contrast method with stair jumps, something along those lines. And then we might finish with some explosive hamstring work. So that would be like an example of impulse day. Best teams in terms on how many they sent to nationals. Okay, so that's interesting because I think we sent 15 to nationals, but we only have like 21 lifters. So it's like, all right, where are we going off percentage? Because I think that's pretty good percentage. I think Brian from Vero sent like 25, 30 people. Catalyst, I think Performance or Power and Grace, I think those teams sent a lot of people to nationals as well. I don't know about Cal Strength, how many they sent this year. I don't know. But I think all those teams are solid teams. And I'm sure there's other teams, Cara, Heads, They have a good performance team. I think, yeah, there's a lot of teams out there that I have a lot of respect for. Can you give an example of an in-season training program from open sport heavy opposition athlete? Heck yeah. So somebody like football or wrestling, in season twice a week, I would start with twice a week, and then I would add a third day on a low level strength of schedule week. So they would do, let's say, on day one, leg absolute strength with a lot of hypertrophy. Okay. Day two, upper body day. So they might do like PA barbell press or push press or behind the neck jerk. And then they might do that with like hypertrophy bench press with pull-ups and then bis and tris. And that would just be twice a week. And then if they have a week strength of schedule, we'll put in an athlete day. And at the end of the athlete day, we'll do some hypertrophy work for the upper body. What's the difference between cardio and conditioning? So Uberboat is asking, why is this my last live stream? This is not my last live stream. It's just the last live stream that will be free. You can click on the $ and you can join with that membership for $10 a month, and you will have access to the 4 YouTube lives for $10 a month. So the difference that I see between cardio and conditioning to me is more like sprint interval-based training. I think it's more like high-intensity interval-based training. I also think it's going to be conditioning is going to be relative to the actual athletic movement that you're doing. So like having gas in the fourth quarter for football, being able to hold top form in the swimming pool, at the end of the race. I would even say, for wrestling, not gassing in overtime. That's conditioning. Cardio would be, like, to me, going out and running 800-meter repeats. So more cardio to me is more LSD work, like long, slow distance work. I hope that clarifies. Let's see here. Can you give an example? Yeah, Bestie. How long do my blocks normally last? They usually will last about 4 weeks. So I think this is my favorite thing here. If we want to be a champion, we've got to have a vision. We've got to be consistent. We've got to embrace discomfort. You've got to invest long term, and you've got to execute today. So we sort of take this big, big picture and come down all the way down, all the way down, all the way down, so that we're competing long term. Okay, we're focusing on the long term by starting today. If you can start today, focus on the long term while you start today, and embrace that discomfort. Alex, thank you. Boom. You're going to be a champion. My age is 38. My height is 6 feet. I think I used to be 6'1", and right now I'm about 240 pounds. Body fat's probably like 17%. Dominic, what are your thoughts on utilizing the squat jerk? Like Lu Zhao Jun. I think it's okay if you have a very, very good back squat. I don't think it's the best, though. I don't think it's the best for people to use. I compete as a 67 Jacobs session when they combine 67B and 73A. Jacob snatches more than what I clean and jerk. Ben, that's okay, dude. That snatch was huge. That 145K snatch was like 5th or 6th best pound-for-pound snatch in the U.S. history for men. It was absolutely absurd. So I think one way that I looked at it was like, the 145 at 73, I think it would be similar to like a 186 for a 94 back in the day. So that's okay. The 145 snatch is just absolutely huge. I don't think people really understand how big it was. Hey, coach, I'm fat as shit, like CPAP fat. Do you know anyone that has something I can do just to start? Samuel, I think first of all, I think it's like just being real like that. I think that's a good start, honestly. Yo, I want to get healthier. I'm a little overweight, and I got to get my shit together, right? Like, I think that's step one. I think step two would be you have a vision, okay? So let's use this. Let's use this right now, Samuel. You got your vision here. You want to lose 100 pounds or something, or 50 pounds, right? So then what do you have to do? You've got to be consistent. All right, so for 4 days a week, I've got to do something. For 4 days a week, I got to walk 3 miles, or I got to do 100 bodyweight squats, or I got to do 100 bodyweight squats. You can buy a Powerlastic and 100 band pull-up parts for 4 days a week. I got to be able to do that and do it 4 days a week, okay? And actually hold yourself accountable. I got to invest long-term, Samuel. So now I'm going to say, I'm going to invest long-term. I'm going to eat a caloric deficit of 800 calories a day or 400 calories a day, caloric deficit every single day. So if I eat 5,000 calories, I'm going to eat 4,200 calories or 4,400 calories. And I'm going to do that every single day for 6 months. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to invest long term. I will not stop that. Okay? And you're going to start that by executing that today. So, Samuel, what you're going to do today is literally this. Okay? You're going to write down your goals. Write it down right now, and I think you should put it in the chat room and say, I want to lose 50 freaking pounds. Okay? And I'm going to start today. I'm going to do 100 box squats, 100 squats to a bench. I'm going to do 100 band pull-aparts. And you're going to be consistent. You're going to do that 4 days this week. And every single day this week, you're going to have 400 to 800 calories deficit. And then you're going to embrace that discomfort. It's going to be hard, but when you get triggered to eat more or you get triggered to not work out, you've got to have something to handle that. Okay, you've got to be, you go for a walk, you do 10 breaths, you like the box breathing or something like that, and then you invest in that long term. You start executing today, and you can do it, Samuel. You can lose the weight that you want to lose. It's gonna be hard, it's gonna be challenging, but you're able to do it. We got a whole group in here that's gonna help support you. I hope that helps you, Samuel, and we're in your corner. Karina, 57-year-old female novice intermediate Olympic weightlifter, 3 months out from second partial knee replacement. Wanting to substitute heavy 80-plus squats. Yes, Steph Z, we do have that vertical jump. 80+% squats with BFR sets versus typical warm-up finisher. Yes, do it, Karina. Absolutely, 100% do that BFR. We actually have an old school garage strength video on BFR that I think that's a phenomenal idea. Joey, we would have technical coordination in season. We would do like a hang power snatch or a hang power clean or a 2-box power clean, 100% to start that workout. And then we get into the moderate absolute strength and then the hypertrophy work. Can a Mr. Olympia become a sprinter if he works very hard? So someone who's been a Mr. Olympia? No, that's not good. I mean, they could be a sprinter, but they're not going to be a world-class sprinter. They'll be a sprinter by definition of like competing in the 100 meters. Samuel, yeah, let's get rolling, dude. We can do this. Yunky Chunky, what should a high school running back linebacker do to get better at his position? If you want to be better as a linebacker or a running back, Barry, you're ridiculous. That's so ridiculous. You've got to snatch. You got a single leg squat. You've got a power clean. You got a back squat. You got to do plyometrics. You got to do hill sprints. You've got to buy the How to Get Faster Speed program. And you've got to hold yourself accountable to do that all the time. And on top of that, you've got to be able to engage. You've got to be able to engage with what your coaches are teaching you as far as understanding the play, the game. I think that's a big thing. Yes, Samuel, definitely join the Discord because I think that's going to help you with your weight loss for sure. Ryan made a lot of progress this past year. He went up weight classes and he got a lot better. I have very long legs and a short torso. What's better squat form for me? It depends on how tall you are. Typically, I would say lower bar, but I'm not a huge fan of that. So front squat would be best for you. Today and 4 days a week, 100 body weight squats, 100 push-ups. You can do band pull-aparts instead of push-ups if you can't do the push-ups. Great job, Samuel. That's a good start. Mr. Coach, can I be able to run the 100 meters in under 10 seconds? It depends on how often you're working. Is there any way to substitute sauna? Yeah, you could do that. You could do more volume-based work on the bike, so like 45 minutes on a bike, on an assault bike. That will help with that sauna replacement. Do you see a relationship of lower back and hamstring strength to explosiveness in the second pull? Say if somebody is 5 rep max is 140 for good mornings, will that correlate better, or is explosive training plyos better transfer? I think both, man. I think both. I think for sure, but I've never had our guys do 140K 5 rep maxes for good mornings. I don't know what Jake could good morning, but he can snatch 145, weighing 73 kilos. So I think hamstring and lower back strength does play a big role in that second position, but you've just got to be patient through the heels. What program do you recommend for overall athletes? I'm over 40. So not competing in school or professionally. I know you've got something in the app, but I'm not waiting until then to get started. get the Ghost Face program. The Ghost Face program is what I use every day. And that's what I was doing before I came on the live stream is I just was down there. I looked at the workout. I said, all right, I've got 35 minutes. I'm going to go through this and get like 30 seconds to 60 seconds rest and just try and blast that as well as I can. I got a good sweat going. I got a good pump going. I felt really good finishing that up. I think that a lot of people forget, especially like that universal style workout. It's like you don't have to train for an hour and a half. And it's fun to train for an hour and a half, but it's also fun to just go in and get work done and leave. And then you're not as hung up on everything. Hi, Coach. I am interested in starting weightlifting. Can I teach myself the technique by watching YouTube videos? You can watch our YouTube videos, and I would even get the app when it comes out because inside of the app, we're going to have technique videos in there teaching you how to clean, snatch, do the variations properly. Do you have any advice on how to approach that as somebody who used to swim and run long distances? Yeah. Hyun, it just takes a lot of time. Step by step, you'll get better and better and better and better. It just takes a lot of time, and just recommend that you've got to be aware that there's a lot of investment in that, right? So I think that's like the big key factor there. Let's see here. What can we do to maintain the speed after 70 meters in 100 meters? That's when I start losing control of my speed. Gaming team WTH. So typically we'll see around like 80 to 85 meters. That's when that top end speed will die off. That's usually going to be technique, holding better posture, and just doing more sprints with longer duration, 80 to 100 meter sprints. I think that's the big factor there. How much will the app cost from Gregor? That's going to cost $40 a month. Fully laid out periodization that you can check out. It's unbelievable. $40 a month. I run a 4.440 constantly with my best time of 4.33. I don't think you need to drop a 4.3340. That's blazing fast. That's extremely fast. Rack 979. Have you seen the Jay Vincent video reaction to you yet? Reaction to the reaction. I saw that it was done. One of our workers showed me. I didn't watch the video. We talked a little bit about the we talked a little bit in the podcast, Masters of Sport podcast, how if you just look at a chicken, right? We can say muscle is muscle. Yes, muscle is muscle, but some muscle responds better to certain intensities. And if you look at a chicken, you have white meat and dark meat, slower twitch, faster twitch. There's different types of ability based off of innervation in your nervous system. There's different types of ability inside of the muscle based off capillaries and stuff like that. So yes, muscle is just muscle, but what changes the muscle functionality is the innervation and how well oxygen gets transported and ATP gets created and all these things. So it's like, it's not just muscle is muscle. There is actual differences in, like my lats are going to be slower twitch compared to my hamstrings. We know this. We know this for sure. We know our pecs and triceps are more fast twitch than our biceps. We do know that. That's not me making that up. That's science proclaiming that based off of research. So yeah, Bo Jackson fast. Absolutely. That's what that 4.33. I have a little schedule problem. My team training ends at 22 plus 20 minutes till I get home. And the next day I have to get up at 6. That happens twice a week. Any tips? Mind of Thomas. So banking sleep. When you bank sleep, which means if you could get a nap for like an hour and a half to 2 hours, if you can bank some extra sleep earlier in the day, if you're privileged enough to do that, I love pin squats. Absolutely love pin squats. If you're able to do that, okay, that will help you when you're fatigued from training. You get home at 10 o'clock at night. Maybe it's 10:30. You don't get to bed till 11. Then you got to wake up at 6. If you bank sleep with some naps, it will help you throughout that next day. You will feel a bit better. How would you train someone who wanted to join the military? I think this is a great question. We actually just did a video like this that's going to be going up on Peak Strength channel, strength training for the military and law enforcement. The big thing that I would say is there's specific tests, one, so we have to identify what those specific tests are and train for them. Yes. My favorite one up here, I think this one, the Pokemon Sky Ridge, or the Machamp Sky Ridge right here. 2003 Sky Ridge. If anybody knows what Sky Ridge, the importance there, that's pretty cool. I would say that one. Machamp, they're all basically Machamps now. I'm trying to get rid of some of the other ones that aren't Machamps. I'm going hard into Machamps, Machokes, and Machops. So going back to the strength training for military, we've got to look at what are those specific tests, and then look at, we have to be explosive if we're training for the military. You have to be explosive. You have to also have a lot of endurance. Okay, so we call it endurance 90 plus. We have to have power endurance, and we should be training power 15. Okay, so within that 15 seconds. Okay, so we have to do some absolute strength training. I think the big downfall with a lot of people who are training for law enforcement and for the military is they watch CrossFit, okay, and they say, well, that's similar to what my tests are. And so they just train like a CrossFitter who would just go in and just do the WODs. Okay, that's it. But world-class CrossFitters do not train that way. They periodize their training in a way that they focus on absolute strength, they focus on endurance, whatever their issues are, and then they build out their training. That's how I think strength training for military should be. If we've got somebody who's got phenomenal endurance, I'm going to improve their max strength. I'm going to improve their power output. If I have somebody who has great power output and great max strength, but bad endurance, I'm going to try and improve their power endurance. I'm going to try and improve their endurance 90 plus. So it's sort of basing things around that realm and that lens, and that's what's going to lead to better performance with their strength training, and that's going to lead to their better performance in their tests for military or with their tests for the law enforcement. I hope that answers the question there, Gregor. Let me know what you think about that. But yeah, fruit salad, yummy, yummy. You had mentioned about the pin squats. I love pin squats. I love pin squats at different heights. I like putting further out, so in like the exposure and comprehension phase, we'll put pin squats in the more disadvantaged position. So like right below 90 degrees, for sticking points for people, right? And then as we start to peak, we'll put pin squats where they're really, really strong. So then where they're going to be really, really strong, they're going to feel better and more explosive out of those positions where they're really strong. So that's how I like to use those pin squats. Do you have recommendations on basketball players who have knee pain and how to prevent it? Knee pain and how to prevent it. So there's a lot of reasons why you might have knee pain. And I think that first thing would just be working on mobility in the ankle, working on mobility in the hips, but then try to figure out what's causing it. Is it jumps? Is it running? Is it squatting? Is it a specific type of jump or a specific type of squatting? And then as you figure that out, you can whittle away where that issue is going to be. And then you can slowly figure out, all right, well, it's caused by my quad, so I've got to lengthen my quad. I've got to focus on this when I'm doing my squats. I've got to focus on this patterning to try and improve that, to try and alleviate some of the scar tissue, and in turn, just feel better in general. So I think that that's like that first big step is just being aware of what's causing that knee pain and why it's happening, and then working from that point. Okay, so I think that a lot of people have knee pain. But it's also like if you squat and your heels pop, start squatting with your heels down more. Like make sure your heels aren't popping, and you're probably going to feel a lot better. Okay. Sometimes you might get like a jumper's knee. So if you're doing a lot of jumping and you're squatting, you've just got to like slowly transition that into that better feeling. So next week, sign up. You can click on that membership button. You can join through the membership button, and that's going to help you get access. It's going to be $10 for 4 live sessions a month. There's going to be less spammers in there. It's going to be more intimate, where we're going to have better questions, better Q&A between coaches, between athletes. So if you guys are sort of like that train at home athlete and you're looking to get more explosive or more hypertrophic, we're going to answer all those questions directly, and that's all starting next Friday. I've got to go down and coach all the weightlifters. They're ready to smash it. It's a Friday. I'm excited. I love training on Friday. Until next time, guys, peace.